I'm about to whip somebody's ass. Oh, I'm about to whip somebody's ass. Oh, if you don't leave me alone, you're gonna have to send me home, 'cause I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
Yo, what's happening, gamers? Thank you for tuning in, you guys. I know that everybody out there that's tuning into this video right now is just saying, what the F did I just witness? How did he drop so many Kroxas to destroy somebody's entire deck without them being able to defend it whatsoever? Well, there's a new exploit out, everybody. I don't know who found it. I don't know who the originator of this little exploit is, but I just seen it circulating around the internet today when I woke up, and it's pretty crazy. I mean, in my opinion, I think it's going to be more of a vanity kind of thing. It's not really going to be something that is really liable. You know, I don't think you're going to run through Mythic and get into Diamond tier using this little fun exploit, but it is a fun thing to do. Mess with your friends with it. And then you make up your own mind. Again, we're going to go over everything that you need to know about this to make it work and how it works and all that good stuff. And you can make up your own mind on it if you think that it's something you want to use running through the actual rankings, or if you just want to have some fun and, you know, mess with your friends a little bit, like I said. So hope you guys like it. Smash that like button, turn on the notifications. Let's jump right into it and start explaining exactly how this Kroxa exploit works to get unlimited Kroxas and kill anybody, you know, basically as soon as you drop the Kroxa. Let's go. All right, gamers, so how do you get this exploit to work? What is the exploit? And just like, you know, what are the mechanics of what we're doing here? Well, it's pretty simple, okay? You could use this as either a counter to our monstrous raider here, but he is a key card to making this work, okay? So is the Broodmoth and, of course, Kroxa. The Trickster got a heist. Now, if you're going to be running this as like you want to set it up all yourself, you need this card in the deck so that you could switch over your monstrous to the, you know, give that to the to your enemy so that all of this plays out. Your enemy, whoever you're playing, you know, the other player, has to have this on the board for this exploit to work. If this card is not on the board, then it will not work. And I'll explain to you guys why right here. If you would put, this card has a ability on it that when you play it, if you would put one or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice that many of each of those kinds on a counter on a permanent player instead. So you basically just get double the permanent. So if you come out with a planeswalker that has 3 permanents to start, now he has 6 instantly. But that's not really what makes the you know, this little exploit work. What makes this exploit work is right down at the bottom, and it actually is the you know, the negativity that it has on your opponent. If an opponent would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, they put that many of each of those kinds, or they put half that many of each of those kinds, excuse me, on that permanent player instead, rounded down. So if you put 1 counter on him, it puts half that on and then rounds it down, so it puts 0 counters onto a player. Okay? Well, what that does in turn is if you take something like the Broodmoth, whenever a creature you control without flying dies, you can return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a flying counter on it. Now, that counter is a huge deal because it, you know, it doesn't just give it flying; it gives it a counter for flying. So what you want to do, and essentially, is just that if this card's in play on your, you know, on your enemy's board, then when you drop Broodmother down, right? And Kroxa, we all know, is enters the battlefield sacrifice unless you escape it. So this will not work if you haven't escaped. You have to use the Kroxa before he's escaped, all right, chat? Whenever Kroxa enters the battlefield or attacks, each opponent discards a card. Then each opponent who didn't discard a non-land card this way loses 3 life. So what happens? How does this all play out, basically? Is that the monstrous comes into play, and he's going to give us half the counters. Okay, we already have Broodmother on the board, and when we play Kroxa, since we don't get any counters on him, he comes into the play, right, with no counters, dies, is supposed to come back with a flying counter, but since we can't have any counters on us, he comes back with no flying counter, which in turn triggers the Broodmother's ability over and over again to just keep respawning this Kroxa. And every time he spawns in, they either got to discard a card or lose 3 life. You cannot use instances, you cannot use sorceries or anything to disrupt this. Once this play gets into the field, it's over. Once you play Kroxa with the Broodmother down and your opponent has the monstrous, the game's done. They can't stop it. There's nothing they can do. They can't counter it. They can't do anything to it. You know, once it's in play, it's going to run him out. It's going to get rid of all his cards, and then it's going to start, you know, smashing him for 3 health every single time that Kroxa comes back. So the way to set this up, you're gonna need a black, red, white, blue, and green deck if you want to do it all on your own. You know, if you're not just planning on countering this guy, like waiting for somebody else that has Monstrous to play it and then sneaky it, you know, put down your Broodmoth and get your Kroxa out there to kind of counter him. If you're going to want to set it up on your own, you're going to have the Trickster's God Heist, because this actually lets you exchange control of up to 2 target creatures. So you bring out, you know, you have your Monstrous out there, and then you exchange it for whatever creature they have. Hopefully you got your Monstrous and the Broodmoth already. Then you play the Trickster, you exchange for one of their creatures, doesn't matter what it is. The whole point is just to get the Monstrous Raider into that player's, you know, battlefield. That's all there is to it. You want to put it on your enemy's battlefield. And as soon as that happens, you switch players, then you drop the Kroxa over, and everything will just kind of roll from there. You know, it'll snowball event from there. Now, the problem is I don't have any Monstrous Raiders to show you guys how to get it to go by yourself. But again, you can do it. You can see how it works, right? So the videos that you see are me and my little brother setting it up with him already having the Monstrous Raider on the board so that we could do the exploit. But again, you can get the, you know, by using the Trickster, you can actually give your enemy the Monstrous so that you can, you know, make this exploit kind of just roll the way it's supposed to. I think it's a really fun exploit. I just wanted to kind of explain it into detail on exactly how it's working, what you're doing. But again, like I said, man, you know, it's a 4-color deck. You got black, red, white, and green on blue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 5-color deck. And, you know, I just think the consistency of this is going to be pretty insane. I don't think it's going to be too consistent. I don't think it's going to be something that is running over any rankings anytime soon. But at the same time, like I said at the beginning, it's really fun, super cool to do. And I enjoy it, man. I love any of these little tricks that are nukes that you can just, you know, win the game by doing a couple of little ability shuffles and stuff like that. So you guys throw it in the comments. Let me know what you think about it, and I'll show you guys this one more time, it working. But just remember, if you want to do it with, you know, you're all on your own, setting it up, you have to have that Trickster, but you could just use it as a counter like we did in this video to just counter anybody that brings the Monstrous Raider to you. So go have fun with it, man. Mess around with it a little bit. You know, let me know in the chats what you think about it. And I'd love to just, you know, hear your experiences using these kind of things. And if you like these videos, then we'll start covering more of, you know, just little tricks you could do in Magic with certain cards to get the advantage and win the game. But hope you guys enjoy it. Check out this little gameplay footage of it one more time. And until next time, homies, awkward silence, man.